Hey guys, thank you for tuning into ChannelBK. My name is Brian. Welcome back. This time I'm bringing you another movie review. This one is for the new Disney and Pixar movie Inside Out, starring Amy Poehler, Mindy Kaling, Phyllis Smith, Louis Black, and Bill Hader. But obviously this is the cinema spoiler show. There are a couple little things I will talk near the end, but for the most part this is a normal review. When I get to the spoilers, if you haven't seen the movie, please turn away. But with that, here we go. Oh! And this is probably going to be at the beginning, and I'm just going to leave this part in too. The opening short I thought was really cute too. I'm not going to spoil really what it is, but I thought it was a nice short to sort of open the movie. I forgot that they did these because I haven't seen a Disney movie or anything in theaters in like a long time. So there you go with that. So this is the brand new Disney Pixar movie. This movie takes place inside the mind of a girl named Riley and sort of all of the emotions, joy, sadness, fear, anger, and disgust. And this has been a very anticipated movie, mainly because with Pixar lately, they've been kind of in a slump. I haven't seen Cars 2 or Brave. From what I heard, obviously Cars 2 we don't need to talk about. And Brave, I heard a lot of people still kind of enjoyed that movie, but I heard it kind of had a lot of disappointments in it. And for Monsters University, I kind of thought that was a very bleh movie as well. And they took last year off because that was actually going to be The Good Dinosaur, which comes out later this year, so we get 2 Pixar movies this year. But I was really looking forward to it. The trailer seemed fun, and I honestly wasn't disappointed. And to be honest, this is so far my favorite movie of the year. It does a lot of great Pixar moments where when you watch a Pixar movie, it works as a kid's movie. And I think in a way that's kind of a good thing and a bad thing for a lot of movies, because I think when you make it a kid's movie, sometimes it's dumbed down in a way. But with Pixar, I think what was so brilliant about this movie is everything that felt kind of fun and exciting really had a lot of meaning behind it, because it feels very universal. There's a lot of great elements that are introduced to it in terms of being inside of Riley's subconscious in her head that for a kid, it's kind of funny, it's kind of exciting, it's sort of very visually just funny and just great, and there's a lot of gags and goofs. But for much older people, or just I guess myself being a teen, I'm much older, it works so much more because it has a lot more deeper meaning to that. And that was something that kind of surprised me about this movie, again, from seeing it, was how much of sort of an adult movie this is in terms of a lot of the themes in it. And I think just overall it works brilliantly on all those fronts, because there's a lot of laughs. Like, you know, with anger, when he gets mad, the fire shoots up, or with fear, he runs around and gets all scared. And then with sadness, she's just mopey and all that sort of stuff. So that all works very well. The actual story behind this, though, is the fact that she lives in Minnesota, Riley, and then she moves to San Francisco, and sort of all that troubling with her mind. And it's a really beautiful movie, and it sort of explores the idea of having certain pillars that we look to in terms of what is established in our life. In this movie, for example, there's a couple things in terms of friendship and family and hockey, which she loves a lot, that is very established in her life. There's also core memories, which is sort of very vivid memories that she's had in the past. And the way this movie works is just so much fun, where like every day there's a new memory, and all 5 of them work together in terms of different things happening. Like if there's disgusting pizza, disgust hits the button, but anger's also really mad that, you know, he ruined pizza, or they ruined pizza. So I thought that was really funny. But again, it's just very rich. And also, the other part of the story is that sadness and joy get sucked into her subconscious and have to make their way back to base. So there's a lot of moving elements and a lot of moving pieces, and it's just a fun adventure movie. But we really get to see a lot of raw emotion that we've been kind of missing lately, I think, with a Pixar movie, ever since probably Toy Story 3. And I think, to be honest, this is my favorite animated movie I've probably seen since Toy Story 3. And it just works on so many different levels. I think one of the more exciting parts about this movie, and one of the more like kind of depressing and emotional parts, is the ideas of having sort of a place where you dream, and sort of the movie studio aspect. I thought that was super clever. The idea of the subconscious and how certain memories get faded, so they dump them into a non-existent place where she'll forget about them. It just feels like so much thought went into this movie, and there's so many elements that work so brilliantly with each other, especially the 5 actors. Phyllis Smith, for example, is probably the best cast. Not to say the rest of them are terrible. You know, Bill, Lewis, Mindy, and Amy are great. They're phenomenal, and including Riley, she's great too. And there's a lot of great cameos and a lot of great characters that I won't spoil here, but everyone worked great. Like I said before, what works so well about this movie is there's so many kid elements, there's fun elements, there's an exciting adventure, there's a really kind of emotional story with the family, but at the core, there's so many deeper meanings to a lot of what these things are to somebody like myself or someone older. So it works on so many levels. But at the end of the day, I think Pixar has its groove back. I think Pixar finally kind of stamped down on this and they made a terrific movie. It's very emotional, very engaging, and you'll certainly have a lot of fun with it. So I say definitely go see this. Now at this part, I'm only going to spoil a couple little things, but please, please, please don't watch this. One of the characters that's brought up in this is an imaginary elephant or imaginary friend that is an elephant and I think a cat and a dolphin hybrid that plays a kind of a crucial role. And there's a really emotional scene when him and Joy get trapped at the bottom of the subconscious, and the only way to sort of get her out is he needs to fall and she needs to forget about him. And that scene, that was one of the 2 scenes in this movie that kind of had me, oh my god, choked up. And it just, again, on an emotional level, it's kind of like, oh my god, like, you know, kids will react that way. But on a deeper level, it's really depressing to think of, like, in life, you forget about those very particular moments or certain things from our childhood that are so valuable at a certain time, but as you grow up, it sort of fades away. And I thought, again, that was a really just kind of depressing storyline, but it really worked a lot. And then the main story near the end is when, you know, fear and anger and disgust are all by themselves and they plant a certain memory, which is brought up a lot in the movies. There's sort of these keys and these other ideas that work really well, and there's an idea to go back and make new memories back in Minnesota. So they have the whole idea of stealing her card to get a ticket to drive away, but then obviously Joy and Sadness get back. They sort of go, no, we want to go back to home and we're really sorry about what we did. And the scene when Riley gets back and has to confront her family is just so, it was so close. I was on the brink of just bawling my eyes out. It was so emotional. And then there was actually another emotional part too earlier in the movie where she's sleeping and Joy puts up a memory of sort of her skating around, and she sort of skates around with her and there's very minimal music. I thought that was very beautiful too. But I think at the end of the day, this was just a phenomenal film. Everything worked perfectly. And again, it just works on so many different levels, from a kid's movie to a very grown adult movie with a lot of different themes. And I think all the elements that were sort of introduced in here were great. I think a lot of the cameos were welcome. I thought all the characters felt fully fleshed out. And it just, again, I also love to see all the inside heads of the mom and the dad. There's a bunch of those at the end of the movie where we go inside the heads of people and we see sort of all that sort of stuff. But yeah, overall, I love this movie. If you obviously have seen the movie, what you think, leave it in the comments below. Maybe where does it rank up in your Pixar movies? Let me know about that. If you please like, it would really help out. And please subscribe if you want more movie reviews, as well as some music and television reviews. Original stuff hopefully coming soon. Raw discussions that I try and do every so often. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in to ChannelBK. Peace out, guys.